Welcome back to your reading lesson. It's Miss Noda here. Today we're going to continue talking about main idea. Yesterday you talked about main idea with Mrs. Moore, and she read you the story I Like Slop with Piggy and Gerald. Today we're going to continue talking about main idea, and we're going to use the book Maybe Something Beautiful to help us find the main idea. Before we read our book, let's very quickly review what is the main idea. What does that mean? So over here I drew a poster, and at the top I have main idea. The main idea of a story describes what the story is mostly about. What is this story trying to tell us? I drew a picture of a chair here because when you're talking about main idea, you can't just say the story was about the sky. You have to say why. You have to explain, well, why was the story about the sky? Did it show you a picture of a cloud? Did it show you a picture of an airplane flying through the sky? Those are called details. You have to support what you think the main idea is. What do you think the story's about? Using details. Okay, so I have a picture of a chair here. When you sit on a chair, this is the round part, that's the main idea. That's the big part. That's what you think the story's about. Now, when you think about a chair, it has legs. So we have our 3 legs here to the chair. Just like how your chair helps make it and helps make you sit on it, that's the same thing with our chair here. These 3 details help support why you think that is the main idea of that story. If you take it away and you only have 2 legs, your chair isn't going to hold up very well. So you need to make sure you have a lot of details from the story to prove that that's why you think the main idea was that. So we're going to practice that now with our book. Maybe Something Beautiful. So we're going to think while I read this story, what is the main idea? And what details can I use in my book to support my reasoning as to why that is the main idea? All right, give me a thumbs up if you're ready. All right, let's get started. Maybe Something Beautiful. How Art Transformed a Neighborhood. By F. Isabel Campoy and Teresa Howell. Illustrated by Rafael Lopez. Maybe Something Beautiful. In the heart of a gray city, there lived a girl who loved to doodle, draw, color, and paint. Mira thought to herself, maybe. And because of this, her room was filled with color, and her heart was filled with joy. On her way to school one day, Mira gave a round apple drawing to Mr. Henry, the owner of the shop down the street. She gave a flower paper to Miss Lopez, the lady with the sparkling eyes. She gave a songbird to Mr. Sachs and a red heart to the policeman who walked up and down the streets. On her way home, Mira taped a glowing sun onto the wall, hiding in the shadows. Her city was less gray, but not much. So pay attention to the story. In the beginning, look how gray everything is. The buildings are all gray. The trees are dark brown. Everything's a dark color. Everybody looks sad. But when you look in Mira's room, look how bright that is. That's so bright and colorful. The next day, Mira saw a man with a pocket full of paintbrushes. He gazed at the wall. He looked at her son. He held his fingers up in a square and peered through them. He said thoughtfully. What do you see? Mira asked. Maybe something beautiful, the man replied. Then, just like that, he dipped a brush in the paint. Bam! Pow! The shadows scurried away. Sky blue cut through the gloom. The man's laughter was like a rainbow spreading across the sky. Look at all that color now that's coming. Wow. Oh, and there's Mira's picture still hanging on that wall. Let's see what happens. Who are you? Mira asked. I'm an artist, he said. A muralist. I paint walls. I'm an artist too, she told him. He handed Mira a brush. Then come on. Mira dipped in the loudest color she saw. Wow-wee! The wall lit up like sunshine. As the man drew pictures on the bricks, Mira added color, punch, and pizzazz. Soon, Mr. Sachs joined in. Then came others. Everyone painted to the rhythm. Salsa, merengue, bebop. Even Mira's mama painted and danced the cha-cha-cha. The whole neighborhood became a giant block party. Until the policeman walked up. Excuse me, he said. The music stopped. Mira put her paintbrush down. They were surely in trouble. The officer cleared his throat, then paused. May I paint with you? He asked. So Mira handed him a paintbrush, and the music started again. Teachers and papas jumped in, babies too. Mira and the man handed out brush after brush. Color spread throughout the streets. So did joy. Pay attention to the details here. Remember how the town looked before Mira started sharing her artwork. Remember how gray it was? Look how bright it is now. And remember how everybody was so sad? Look how happy everybody looks now. That's a detail. Wherever Mira and the man went, art followed like the string of a kite. After they colored the walls, they painted utility boxes and benches. They decorated sidewalks with poetry and shine, and everyone danced. Together, they created something more beautiful than they had ever imagined. When their clothes were splattered with a million colors, everyone sat down to rest, except the muralist. His eyes sparkled. You, my friends, are all artists, he told them. The world is your canvas. He smiled wide, then pulled everything together in big, sweeping motions. His paintbrush was like a magic wand. When he was finished, Mira added one more bird way up in the sky. Maybe, she thought, just maybe. The end. All right. So right now, I want you to think about what the main idea of this story was. What do you think this story was trying to tell us? I'll kind of give you a little help. In the beginning, it was all dark and gray. All dark and gray. Everybody was so sad. But Mira, she was colorful, she was happy. And then she started passing out paper to people. And then she met a muralist and they did so much stuff together. Together. Who thinks they know what the main idea is? All right, I'll give you 5 more seconds and then we'll talk about it. All right, so let's see if your main idea is right. So the main idea of this story is that when we work together, we can create something beautiful. Did you guess that? If you guessed that, give yourself a pat on the back. Wonderful job, kindergarten. So that's the main idea. The main idea, the big part, what the story is mostly about, was that when you work together, you can create something beautiful and amazing, just like what Mira and the muralist did. If you look in the beginning of the story, Mira was creating things by herself. And if you look at it, look how shiny her room is. She's all by herself here. But when she starts handing out her work, look at how happy everybody's becoming. And look at the color that's starting to add to the town. And then when she gets the muralist to help her, look at all that they do and all of the people that they get involved. They start painting the walls. Everybody starts dancing and listening to music, and they're happy. And when they work together, look at how colorful they made the town. The town is beautiful now. So those were our details. There were a lot of details. Sometimes in books, there's not just 3, there's a lot. So like in this book, the town was gray. Mira and the muralist worked together. They worked together to paint the town. They got everybody else involved to paint the town and to make it pretty and happy. So those are just some of the details. And we can look at that with using the pictures. Look at, here's the muralist passing out a paintbrush. The police officer is running and singing. It looks like he's skipping, he's happy. There's people planting flowers. They weren't doing that in the beginning. In the beginning, it was all dark and gloomy. Good job, boys and girls. That was awesome. So now remember, we were focusing on the main idea. What is the story mostly about? And then we have our 3 details to help support that main idea. All right? Good luck practicing this the rest of the week. I'm so proud of all of your hard work.